Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. Jeez, when did I become an unboxing channel? Oh well. My name is Brandon. You're watching M.O.N.Comics. Pretty big epic haul. Sit back, buckle up. It's going to be a good one. Welcome back, folks. Happy Friday. I hope you all had an amazing week and are ready to start the weekend. I am super excited. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to a small comic and toy show with a coworker friend of mine who just recently started collecting comics. My wife is taking our daughters to a friend's birthday party, so this is like the first show in a while that I'll be able to go solo, really take some time to look for some books, and to get some great footage. So I'm really excited for that. I've got a lot of books to show off today. Some pretty important, historically significant books, which I love looking at and talking about and collecting. So if you like that kind of content, if you're not subscribed already, I was looking at some analytics. I have like 41% of my viewers are not subscribed. So please, by all means, if you would, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow the channel. It helps me do a little bit more with what I can do with the channel and more giveaways, stuff like that. I just recently surpassed 1,300 subscribers. I think when I get to 1,500, if I get to 1,500, I'll do another giveaway. So yeah, hit the like, and definitely going to leave me some comments on this video. I'd like to hear what you guys think about these books. So let's talk about the first book. So since I acquired Daredevil 1 and decided to get back on track with issues 1 through 10, I set my sights on the next one. I thought I'd go for 2. So I'm in a group chat with a bunch of guys, and I threw out there, hey, I'm looking for a Daredevil number 2 in about a 2.0. I'd like it graded because I found that comps when recently sold were right around like 195, and that's what my budget was. And within moments, Ricky from All Sorts of Words shot me a picture from Mercari. Now, I created this channel to help people find comics online, good reputable places. I had never shopped on Mercari for comics. I looked, I'd done a lot of window shopping, but I never grabbed anything. So I figured this would be a good chance to take a dive into it. So the seller wanted $230 for this book, and I offered, you're allowed to make offers, so I threw out a $175 offer. And I didn't hear anything back for a day, and he countered with $190, and I accepted because before shipping, that was the fair market value, maybe $5 below, but I was fine with it. The book looked great, and I ordered it. And the seller shipped quick because I wasn't aware of this, but they don't get paid until you get your item and you leave a review. Because after I received this item in the mail, I went back to Mercari because I wanted to leave a review anyways, and it said seller does not get paid until you submit a review. So I happily did. Now, how did I review the seller? The price was great. The shipping time was quick. I got it within 3 days, priority mailed. What I did leave him a comment about room for improvement was his shipping style. This book didn't come to my house. It went to the post office. I am friends with some people who work at the post office, and I shot them a message, and they said, yes, it's here. So I went down to get it, and expecting the usual priority mailer box, I was handed a manila envelope. And it felt hard, but it was still a manila envelope. Not what a slab collector or even a comic collector wants to see come in unless there's a Gemini inside. So I took it home, I unboxed it, and this is the first picture. Maybe I'm going to have it over here. The second picture, I don't know which side it's going to be on if I edit it. And then the third picture. No bubble wrap, extensive cardboard, just not great packaging. So I gave him 4 to 5 stars, and I suggested, hey, priority mailers are free. Spend a little money and get some bubble wrap. You're going to make your customers a lot happy. But at the end of the day, I did end up with a nice Daredevil number 2. Yeah, my run is definitely, I'm making headway. So Daredevil number 2 from June of 1964, Stanley Story, Joe Orlando and Vince Colletta art, Jack Kirby and Vince Colletta cover. Significance of this is it is the second appearance, of course, of Daredevil, but also the second appearance of Electro. He debuts in Amazing Spider-Man. God, what number is it? 7, 9? I'll put it in a card down here, a title card. And it has The Thing. I love it. Guest starring The Thing, but it's a brief appearance. Don't blink your eyes or you'll miss it. I also showed this to the group chat after I was so excited to get it, and I think it was Ricky from All Sorts of Words announced that Electro will be played by Nick Cage. I think he totally looks like Nick Cage in this picture. I don't know if you can see the details there great. I got some glare. And there's also a stamp. So a lot of the times, you know, kids, if they had a stamp, they could stamp the book. It says Kenneth K. So I'm guessing it's more of an ownership stamp than a bookstore stamp. I'm going to do some research if I can find out. But really nice looking 2.0. I was very happy to pick this one up for about fair market or a little below. But yeah, beautiful book, second appearance of a major villain. It's got Daredevil still in his original costume. So very grateful for this. Thanks, Ricky, for dropping this. Would I shop off Mercari again? Absolutely. I have become too comfortable when buying from reputable sellers on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere that I bought from that I forgot the cardinal rules. You know, reach out, ask the seller, how do you plan on packaging this item? Are you using bubble wrap? Are you using a priority mailer? You know, can you please make a little extra time and package it, you know, correctly so I can leave you a good review? First platform, lesson learned, should have said it first time using that platform. But going forward, I'll definitely do that. And I definitely shop on there again. I had a good experience, other than a little bit of lesser than I'd like packaging. But yeah, overall, first Mercari buy, Daredevil #2. I now lack issues 5, 6, 8, or 5, 6, 9, and 10 for the run. But not really. Stay tuned. All right. I've dipped my toe back in the golden age. And I couldn't help it. The deal was fantastic. I was searching on Instagram, or scrolling rather, as I usually do, and Mark from Chbl, I'm going to put his page right here. If you're not following this person and you like to buy comics, go follow him immediately. Of all the people I've found to sell comics or to buy comics from over the past year and a half since I've been doing this, he's right up there at the top. He sets the standard with people like Robot Monster Island from Whatnot, Comic Fanatic 86 on Instagram. He's just a wonderful guy, and he has absolutely amazing books at very fair, always under fair market value prices. If you want to shop there, you better be quick with your notifications on from him, because they go in literally the blink of an eye. But this one sat for a day, and I really hemmed and hawed if I wanted to go down this road a bit, and I decided I wanted to. So I did have a pre-code horror book before, Crime Suspense Stories #9. It was a cool book. I liked it. I think I graded out at like a 5.5. Classic Johnny Craig cover, has a skeleton on it, but it just didn't have that certain je ne sais quoi, if you will, of what I wanted in a pre-code horror book. So if you're not familiar with pre-code horror and the term, I'll go into it a little loosely. Other channels explain it better. But Seduction of the Innocent was a book published in 1954 by German-born American psychologist Frederick Wertham. And it warned that comic books were a negative form of popular literature and a serious cause of juvenile delinquency. They had congressional hearings about it. They picked out the books with the most horrific covers or stories or sexual innuendos and used them as their facts. And it is what birthed the Comic Code Authority and really hurt Marvel for a while. A lot of Marvel's titles were in that realm, and then, you know, it wasn't until the Silver Age when they got their hero teams back to the Fantastic Four. And in between that, you had post-code, pre-hero Marvel monsters that really kind of helped them move along. So I wanted a book that was going to, well, I kind of wanted two books, but we'll get to that again later. I wanted a book that was either horrifying, very macabre, and this one did it for me. This is Crime Suspense Stories #24 from 1954, right before the congressional hearings, congressional hearings came out, but this is right before the code went into effect. So this is 4 short stories by Al Feldstein and Reed Crandall. The cover art is done by George Evans, who is pretty acclaimed for doing some great art throughout the Golden Age and on. And then interior art features work also by Jack Kamen, Maurice Severin, Joe Orlando, which you will remember from Daredevil #2, and also Bernie Krigstein. And so 4 different stories, and it was graded pretty low because there is a tear right here, and it's being held on with tape from a long time ago. The tape is discolored. He showed it in a picture to me when I asked for more pictures. So that is held on there, but I mean, the colors are just gorgeous. And I love this because there's no blood. There is a dead person in a bathtub, and that guy's maniacal face and just the suggestion of what's about to go down is terrifying to me. I mean, look at that guy's eyes roll in the back of his head. He's in a tub. It's just gruesome without being gruesome, if that makes sense. And I really wanted to add at least one of these back into my collection for the history part of it. Pre-code horror covers are great. Now, I was going to send this to CGC right away to get it graded because it's a beautiful cover, but I did have a viewer. I'm going to put his username down here. And he really, you know, implored me to read some of these stories. He said there's some great stories, because I was talking with some other creators and they always say, you know, pre-code horror, you know, 99% of the buy is for the cover, which is true. It's some of the best horrific macabre covers you could ever find. However, I want to take him up on that. I am going to read this first. Now, some of these, it's very wordy pages. I'll put an image up too so you can see just how much pages for a comic. It's a lot. But I want to read it. I want to give it a chance. You know, he was remarking about, you know, Bronze Age stuff I was reading and some Silver Age Marvel horror. And he really pushed that I should read some Golden Age horror. So what better opportunity? I've got one raw. It is still attached at the spine and the staples, so I'll do it carefully. I could do it online, but I'd rather read the book since I got it. So Mark also was nice enough to send this in a beautiful Mylar with a clear backing board so I could really enjoy it. So I can't thank you enough, Mark. Anyone who watches this, if you're looking to buy some comics, anything from... he has some good deals, don't get me wrong, a lot of higher end stuff, but very fairly priced higher end stuff. Please go check out Mark. He's also on Whatnot. You can find him there, and he does some shows there with a lot of Spider-Man, X-Men, just awesome, awesome books he gets a hold of. So you can go in there and battle for him too. But yeah, crime suspense stories, pre-code horror, 1954. Got it back. Happy to have it. So yeah, I'm an unboxing channel now. So we've covered Mercari. Tonight we've covered Instagram. This is also Instagram in that this is kind of first, so I started talking to this person, but I was formally introduced to him via YouTube. He is Bigby McFly, the comic guy, my good friend Brian. So I put out there that, you know, I had gotten Daredevil #2. Brian always packs well, just amazing. And he sends me a video. Hey, just got these in a collection. You want to buy them? Of course I do, Brian. Brandon, happy to help with you getting closer to your goals. Best regards, Bigby, aka Brian. I'm gonna make a collage out of Brian's handwritten notes and everyone else's. That was too kind. So he reached out, he showed me the video, and I said, yes, I do want them. And then he showed me a third comic that I was actually very happy to pick up and said, yeah, I'm gonna have to have that too. But there are 2 books in here that are even going to put me a little closer to my Daredevil collecting goals. So thank you, Brian. You should definitely do a claim sale. Brian has a lot of inventory. I think he just needs to do a claim sale so others can get in on this. So what did I get? The first book. Awesome. Daredevil, #9 from 1965, written by Stan Lee, pencils by Bob Powell and Wally Wood, and cover by the great Wally Wood, who of course changed Daredevil into his iconic red suit. First appearance of the Organizer. I'm not familiar with it yet. I will give it a read, but good condition. #9. This is so sweet. Wally Wood art is just amazing. Thank you, Brian. A little bit of staining on the right-hand side. No biggie. It's going to look great. I can't wait to add this to the Daredevil wall. And #10 he sent along. So this is from 1965, written by Wally Wood this time. Pencils again by Bob Powell and Wally Wood, and covered by Wally Wood. So this is the first appearance of the Animen, Cat, Frog, Bird, and Ape. So I used to have this book. I traded actually a while ago when I didn't think I was going to be doing the Daredevil run, but I got it back and I'm happy to have it again. So Daredevil 9 and 10 are in the collection. I lack just 5 and 6. I'm talking with a viewer who has an issue 6 that I'm trying to trade for. And I think I'm going to try to, this weekend at that comic and toy show, I'm going to try to find an issue #5. And I'll have 1 through 10 of Daredevil, which is just insane to me. So thank you, Brian, for the help on these 2. I really appreciate it. So Brian hits me up a day later. He's like, wait. I'm not going to ship those books yet. I have 1 more you might want to buy. And we're going to go a little more modern in this, and it is a comic that it wasn't even on my radar, because again, I'm not looking at modern comics all the time. Pretty cool though. Dark Horse presents number 137. So it is, of course, a Predator comic from 1998. This is rare. There's only 13 copies on the census, and only 6 are 9.8s. And this is a contender. And he said that too. 9.4, 9.6 with 9.8 possibilities. So why is this important? It was written by Ron Mars and Claudio Castellini, covered by Dan Norton. There was recently a Predator omnibus put out, and actually they removed one of the stories in this because of the Nazi imaging and what have you, and they removed some other stories too that were negative racial connotations, because Disney now owns this property when they bought it from Fox, so they wanted to, I think, avoid any of that. This is the final Predator story in Dark Horse Comics, so it is pretty important. Cool cover. Anyone fighting Nazis, Indiana Jones, Predator, you name it, I'm gonna be all about it. So really cool. Thank you, Bigby, for helping provide 2 more of my collecting goals, and then of course showing me a Predator book I need. So Bigby McFly, the comic guy. If you're not following him on Instagram and YouTube, please do so. He's a sweetheart. Brian, I encourage you, have a live claim sale soon so I can buy more books and other people can get on in this, because you got some great stuff. This is a particularly cool book, and one that I've been quietly side questing for a while. So we've done Instagram, we've done Mercari, and now we're going over to eBay. This was a book that I saw in there. I was looking for this book in a bunch of different places. So I looked on my comic shop, Comic Link. They're just not out there. And I've wanted this book for a few reasons. One, the artist that's associated with it is fantastic. Packed well, a lot of packing stuff. This eBayer sent the stuff out quick. It shipped next day, and it was here in 2. And so this book is, like I said, it has huge historical implications. It's Golden Age. It's very important. Doggy. Okay. This is a curveball. None of you are going to see this coming, and it's so fun. Like I said, I've been looking for this book for a while, or one of these books for a while, I should say, because I've always admittedly talked about loving history. I was just on 22 Comics interview, Collecting Uncensored. Check that out in the rewatch if you get a chance. We had a blast talking, and he was asking me, what really drives me to collect, and it's history. Well, you don't get much bigger than this. Weird Science number 19. What's special about this? Let me tell you. Bill Gaines and Al Feldstein stories. Al Williamson, Joe Orlando, and Jack Kamen art. So you can see how the team from Daredevil number 2 had a big play in this. Wally Wood cover and art. I love Wally Wood. He was taken way too soon, and he was just an amazing artist. Why I wanted this one is I love Ray Bradbury. It had that on the cover. That's one of the things that struck me. When I first read A Sound of Thunder in high school, blew my mind as a science fiction story and opened me up into Ray Bradbury's catalog. So I thought that was cool it was mentioned. Wally Wood zombie astronaut cover, just really grotesque, and the regular, guy inside. This is important because this is one of the books that they referenced in Seduction of the Innocent. And I knew if I wanted to get this book, I wanted it graded because they actually say it right there. Used in SOTI, Seduction of the Innocent. Ray Bradbury adaptation and biography. So this not only is a pre-code horror or pre-code sci-fi book, which I said if I was going to get something used in the congressional hearings, I wanted it. There's crime books, there's other, good girl art books. I wanted it with either sci-fi or horror book, and I wanted a Wally Wood cover, and this fit it. So it looks pretty good. It's a 1.5. The trade dress and colors are great. That's what really drew me to it. The problems are, this is from 1953, Spine of cover completely split and reattached with tape. Cover detached. So this is probably a good looking book, but they had to drop the grade because of that so far to 1.5. For a 1.5, still a great looking book and an absolute piece of comic history. So this was on eBay. The seller wanted, I think, $2.99 for it. I threw out an offer. I talked with my friend Stepo, Collecto6 on Instagram, who is, if you haven't seen my interview with him or seen anyone talk with him about his collection, he is a wealth of knowledge. I said, what would be, what would you shoot out and what would be the highest you pay? So he said that, shoot out a $215 offer, and if you have to pay $250, don't let it go, because these books just don't come up. This was the only one on eBay in like an affordable grade. You start going higher and it just goes through the roof. And so I did just that, and I got it. The seller sent back, I think, an offer of $259, and I wasn't going to let $9 keep me from owning this book. So I did a little research. There are only 107. Now, CGC Census, I know it's not like the ultimate outlier for like how many of these are out there, but it can give you a little glimpse into the rarity. So on the census, there's only 107, 94 in universal grade, 1 signature series, which I'd love to find out what that is, and there are 12 restored copies. And this is 1 of 6 in a 1.5. There's something about owning a rare book, something there's not many of. It's just, this survived for so many years, and someone put it in the case and slabbed it. Back, there's some staining and stuff. You can see the tape on the back, and that's cool. Again, I'm just going to keep it in the slab. So this I'm tickled. I could not. This came today, and I, did my dad thing and took care of my girls and made dinner and had a blast with them. But in the back of my mind was like, this is sitting in my office right now, and I can't wait to open it up. So just a fantastic Wally Wood cover. Just amazing. Number 19. So this is EC Comic Groups, as well as the crime suspense story I picked up. Very, very popular with pre-code stuff. So an entertaining comic, if you will. So there we go. Weird Science number 19. 2 pre-code horror golden age books this week. What am I doing? I'm having fun. Just have fun when you collect, and you can't go wrong. All right, that's it for this week, guys. This was a couple weeks of compilation that I've waited for books to come in so I could have a really great video come out with some amazing books. I had a lot of fun collecting them. This was just truly amazing to put in my collection, these books. Leave me a comment. Is anyone a pre-code horror collector out there? I know one of my viewers, Pre-Code Thing, that watches some of my videos, and on Instagram, he definitely likes them. Daredevil, I'm a couple books away, and I can't believe it. Just very grateful for these moments. It's just amazing to me. So yeah, here we go. Next week, I will have a video of the show that I go to tomorrow. And then the week following that, no regularly scheduled videos. We are doing the Big 5 Live. On the Big 5 Live this month, I am having K-Pop Junkie will be on again. She just did the Crow Show with me. I'll be having a Comic Journey, Side Quest Comics, and Unruly Simeon. So you'll see that thumbnail pop up relatively soon. So please come hang out that night, and really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch. I hope you guys have a great, safe weekend, and until then, keep reading and collecting those comics.